Good morning, Frady bunch. It is so early. Oh my gosh. I cannot seem to sleep in like at all anymore. I'm up at like 6 o'clock every day of the week without fail. So that's my life, and that's why I bake in the morning. Yeah. So today I'm excited because I am making a, it's not a copycat, but it's like a, what's the word? Adapted. It's an adaptation. This is the word I'm looking for. This is an adaptation of Cake Boss Buddy Valestro's German crumb cake, which I am so excited about. I can remember watching an episode of Cake Boss like years ago where this woman orders this huge crumb cake and something goes wrong with it, or they don't have it, and he's like, you know what, I'll make you a new one, don't sweat it, I'll make it personally. And which I thought was super cool because not a lot of places would do that. But so yeah, so he makes this crumb cake and it has these huge globs of crumb on it, and it's just this like sticky, like just decadent looking like dessert or breakfast or whatever you want to use this for. It looks amazing, and I have been thinking about this crumb cake for years, and since I live in West Virginia and not Hoboken, New Jersey or New York, I obviously am not going to be getting that anytime soon. So I thought I would scour the internet for a recipe that was as close to his as I could find, since obviously his recipe is not available for consumer use. So here we are today making an adaptation of Buddy Valestro's German crumb cake, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. Buckle up, folks, because we're getting started. Sanitizing my hands. So first things first, I'm gonna do this a little bit differently than what the original step said. So I have 3/4 of a cup of milk here that I have warmed up, and to this I'm going to add 3.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast, which I actually have today. I ventured out and went into a store, Aldi specifically, and got active dry yeast. It took everything in me not to buy like a whole like row of it, like a whole container of it, just because like I've been doing a lot of things that need active dry yeast, and while you can convert it with instant yeast, sometimes it's just easier, I guess, to use what the recipe tells you to use or use what you're familiar with. I don't usually work with instant yeast too frequently, so I thought it was weird to add yeast to a crumb cake, but I guess the cake part of this is more of actually like a sweet dough, like a, not like a sweet bread, but kind of like a sweet bread dough, which is cool because I love bread. Like Oprah, I love bread. It's early. I want to reiterate that, because while I am usually this weird, it's not usually on camera. So now we need to add 3 large eggs into our milk and yeast mixture. You want to be sure that these eggs are room temperature because you don't want to lower the temperature of the milk. I just warmed mine in the microwave for about like a minute, minute and a half. It just depends on like your microwave and your wattage and all of that. But you want your milk to be like not scalding, but pretty warm, around like 105, 110 degrees, just to help the yeast activate. And then if you are putting cold eggs into that, obviously your yeast isn't going to activate as thoroughly as it would if you had nice, harmonious, room temperature eggs to mix into your slightly more than room temperature milk. I'm gonna whisk this all together. So there's that. We're gonna set this off to the side and we're gonna let that bloom for about 10 minutes. Now, I have my stand mixer here fitted with my paddle attachment, and in this we're going to add 3 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. Now we need a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now this recipe said to add the salt into our yeast mixture, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to add our salt in with our dry ingredients right now, and we need 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. So to this, I have 6 tablespoons of really cold butter that I have cubed, and we're going to add this in here. So now we're going to mix this together until it's like crumbly and the butter is all like evenly dispersed throughout the flour. Alrighty, so this is our milk yeast mixture. It's been an egg mixture. So now I'm going to add, the recipe said the zest of a whole lemon. I failed to get a lemon for this, but I do have lemon extract, so I am going to do just about a tablespoon of lemon extract to add it to our wet ingredients. You want to be really careful with the amount of extract that you use because it is more concentrated than lemon juice or lemon zest. It's just like lemon oil basically. So mix that up. We're gonna pour our wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. I'm using a rubber spatula. We're going to incorporate it until it's just combined, until the dough is all like just wet. So I have combined. That's what it's looking like now. And so I have our, what is this? Dough hook attachment on my mixer. And we're going to mix that on low for 1 minute. So now we're going to crank this up to about medium speed and let it knead. Knead for speed. Let it knead for about 5 minutes on medium speed. Dough is done. This is a super duper sticky dough. So don't think about adding extra flour because it's sticky. It's supposed to be that way. So if you don't have a stand mixer and you're mixing by hand, it will be very slack, very sticky, very like it's cohesive, but it's not like a solid ball, if that makes sense. So you see how it pulled away from the sides and it sort of just like congealed in the middle. That's how I knew that it was done kneading, and it did take about 5 minutes. So I have a big glass bowl here that I have sprayed with nonstick cooking spray, and we're going to turn our dough out into this other bowl. There's our dough. It smells amazing. It smells nice and lemony. It smells like bready. And it is super like stretchy, very sticky dough. So we're going to set this aside, cover it with plastic wrap. We're gonna let it rise for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. Okay, back to the task at hand, which is our crumb cake. So, I'm excited. I am excited. Get our crumb for our crumb cake started. I put 1/2 cup of softened butter into my stand mixer here. Need 1 cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. Need a 1/4 cup of granular sugar. Need 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. We need 3/4 of a cup of vegetable shortening. We need 3 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And we need 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm going to very gently mix this all together on a low speed until it resembles a crumb that is both crumbly yet pliable. So like when you pick it up, it holds together. So there's our crumb. You see how it sticks together? Exciting. This, okay. I don't know if you've ever watched the greatness that is Cake Boss, and I don't know if you've seen the episode that I'm talking about, but like these crumbs on this crumb cake were massive. They were huge. They looked so, oh, so good. And I'm really excited about it because this is like a double crumb recipe. So we're gonna make lots and lots of like crumb balls and just sprinkle all of our crumbs on top. I'm so excited. I love Cake Boss. Like Buddy, I want to be friends with Buddy. I want to work for Buddy. Like that would be my life's goal, is to learn baking from the greatest baker on television, arguably. I love Buddy Balestra. I think he's fantastic. And if he sees this, you're the man, Buddy. Like, you're the man, you're the man. Just fangirling over here. Sorry. I have a 9 by 13 baking dish here. We're not going to grease this. We're just going to leave it as is. Look at our beautifully risen dough. Oh, I am so excited about this. So we're just going to gently let this fall into our baking dish. There we go. And we're going to pat this down into our corners here. Voila. Oh, it smells amazing. Okay, so now we're just going to make big crumbs. So we've got this one that we made earlier. Just going to see how it holds together when you make it into a ball. I'm so excited about this. Oh, look at that. Look at those giant pieces of crumb. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, calm down. Okay, so this is going to set here for another 20 minutes or so, just to let it rest, and then we're gonna bake it in a 350-degree oven for about a ½ hour until a toothpick or a kitchen knife or a little cake tester comes out clean. This is gonna rise up beautifully. I'm excited. Like shaking with anticipation. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, okay. Okay, yes. Letting that sit there, and then I will show you what the final product looks like in a little bit. Are you ready to see the most amazing thing that you've ever seen in your entire life? Because you should be. Touch my hair, so I'm sanitizing for you guys. It smells heavenly. Like, I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just want. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh. Look at that beautiful artwork. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I cannot even tell you. I cannot even tell you how excited I am. Like, I want to cry. I'm so excited about this. Like, also, changed clothes, got myself ready for the day. It's like noon now, so an all-day love affair for this, but worth it. Okay, let's my god. Oh my god. I could cry. This is the most beautiful, beautiful thing I've ever tasted. Mm. 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 Oh god, the crumb, like the crumble on top is so good. Like it's cinnamon, it's like, okay, so here is a better picture of the dough itself. It's nice and airy, it's soft, it's pillowy. Oh my god, and this, oh, it's so good. I really could cry. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh my gosh. There's just like a hint of lemon because we put that extract in there. It's not too overpowering, but it's just enough. It's just subtle enough. Everything about this is heaven. This is, you know, this is the food that I would eat as my last meal if I were on death row, you know, for whatever reason. This is what I would just, like a whole pan of crumb cake. Buddy's crumb cake. This is, God, heaven. Like, oh, I feel like I'm not articulating complete sentences because it hit me a different way. And when you know, you know. And this is it. This is it. This. It's it. That's it. That's all that I have for you today. That's all. Oh my gosh. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. You all mean the world to me. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Mwah!